Hey everyone, it's your boy Kinetic. I'm back to take a look. Started getting curious about something a little earlier this morning and figured why not go ahead and do a simulation, make a video and just kind of analyze it and see what comes out. So it's actually going to end up being a series of two videos. The first one, this one, is going to be a full season simulation with me completely hands off, not doing anything, not recruiting, not progressing the head coach, or anything like that. I took control of Michigan because Michigan's my team. But really, what I'm looking for here is I'm going to sim the entire season to the bowl season, and I'm going to take a look at how EA Sports current and what is likely the end of season rankings. Although there may be another one after another update after the national championship is played out that adjusts ranking or ratings, but the bulk of the season's in the books. There's no guarantee there's going to be another update, so we may be looking at what we have right now as the final rankings for the 2025 game for EA Sports College Football 25. So I want to see how accurate to their ratings of the players, of the teams, combined with their internal sim logic, how close it can get to the actual results on the field that we saw this year. Because as we know, they adjusted the ratings throughout the season to reflect what they saw in real life. So I would like to see, now that we're at the end of the season, how accurate their sim logic is with their adjusted ratings compared to what happened in real life. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to week 15, and then we are going to take a look and see what happens from there. We'll analyze season stats, records, stuff like that. We'll look at the awards, and you know what, we may even run through the playoffs to see what EA Sports' ratings would have predicted the playoffs and the national championship to be, and the bowl game. So the bowl game matchup. So this will be fun. We'll see. Now there will be a second video that I'm planning to do probably today as well. That one's going to be a little bit more involved, where I'm actually going to create Sharon Moore as the coach for Michigan, as the new head coach. It'll be a little bit more detailed with Michigan because I am a big Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan podcaster. I'm more familiar with the ups and downs they had throughout their season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with all 134 teams. I'm going to use forced win and loss on every schedule for all 134 teams to reflect the actual wins and losses in the season that we had in real life, and then see how accurate the playoff selection and seeding was in the game versus real life. See how accurate the bowl selections are in real life versus in the game, because theoretically the game is impartial, right? And it's just looking at data, whereas in real life you have the human element who takes into account the eye test, and if you want to believe it or not, it takes into account money. You know, a lot of the bowl games are going to invite schools and brands that they think are going to bring in the most money versus who actually would deserve to go there. So I just thought it'd be a little interesting exercise to do these two things today and see what comes of it. So we're going to go ahead and hit the sim button here. And let's see. Oh, well, you know what? Before we do that, let's take a look real quick at a couple things. So the preseason top 25, we all know these rankings. These are the rankings. These are the exact same rankings as the beginning of the year in real life. So just to go through them once more, at the start of the year, we had projected Georgia, number 1, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Texas Longhorns, number 4, Oregon Ducks, number 5, Ole Miss Rebels, number 6, Alabama Crimson Tide, number 7, Penn State, number 8, Notre Dame, number 9, Michigan Wolverines, number 10, Missouri Tigers, number 11, Florida State, number 12, Utah. Then there's number 13, LSU, 14, Oklahoma, 15, Tennessee, 16, Arizona, 17, Clemson, 18, Oklahoma State, 19, Kansas State, 20 Louisville, 21 Kansas, 22 NC State, 23 Miami, 24 Texas A&M, 25 USC. So just on these rankings, I would say Georgia underperformed number one. I would say Ohio State outside of the Michigan game is pretty on level with their number two ranking. Texas, considering the injuries that they had, I would say maybe slightly underperformed, if at all. Oregon, I think, outperformed, number 4 ranking. Ole Miss, I believe, underperformed. Alabama, absolutely underperformed. Penn State, I would say, is probably about where they should be. Notre Dame, probably pretty accurate. Michigan, obviously, very much underperformed this year. Missouri, underperformed. Florida State, greatly underperformed. Utah, underperformed. LSU looked like they were holding it together for most of the year, and then towards the end of the season just imploded. So they definitely underperformed. Oklahoma absolutely underperformed. Tennessee, Tennessee's an interesting one. They statistically would look like they overperformed. However, I think they actually underperformed. But the implosion of so many teams ranked ahead of them, Oklahoma, Michigan, Florida State, Utah, Alabama, Ole Miss, allowed them to, on paper, look like they overperformed because they didn't blow up. Nico is. I've been very open about the fact that I'm a big fan of Nico Iamaleava. I think he's going to be great, but this year he did not step up and take he did not progress like we expected him to. So I would say they actually underperformed, despite the fact that in real life they actually made the 12-team playoff. Arizona, I would say, probably underperformed a little bit. Clemson overperformed slightly. Oklahoma State definitely underperformed by quite a bit. And then looking at the rest of the list, I mean, NC State, Texas A&M, USC, all very much underperformed. Miami, I would say, overperformed. And the others are basically where they should be. Preseason All-Americans, if we look at that real quick. So Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. This is preseason team 1, first team. Quinshon Judkins, Omarion Hampton. Wide receiver Travis Hunter, Emeka Egbuka, Tedoroa McMillan. Tight end Tyler Warren. Offensive line Kelvin Banks, Donovan Johnson, Jonah Meinheim. Tate Ratledge, Johnny Cornelius, Jack Sawyer, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Harold Perkins, Jay Higgins, Barrett Carter, Will Johnson, Benjamin Morrison, Caleb Downs, Malachi Starks, Graham Nicholson, Brett Thorson. So this will be interesting to see because these are the preseason All-American projections before we saw what happened in real life and before EA tweaked their ratings. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up on this list. Alright, let's go ahead and get the simulation done. We're going to simulate to week 15. Let's see what happens. Almost there, week 10. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Okay, we're just going to ignore the recruiting because it's on auto recruiting anyway. I guess we can take a look at it for those that are curious on how auto recruiting does. So let's just take a look real quick. As a 5-star program, it looks like Michigan has not even in the top 10. That's sad. Not even in the top 25. They've got 8 4-stars, and that's it. Yeah, auto recruiting sucks. So we'll go forward and see what that. Okay. So let's see. Where should we start? All right. So here's the top 25 after 15 weeks. I guess we should do the. I guess we should advance past the conference championship, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's advance past the conference championships, and we can analyze there. All right, let's see. So the Heisman winner was not Travis Hunter in this game, according to the ratings and the SimLogic. It was Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe with 3,482 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Looks like both Michigan and Notre Dame are neither one in the playoffs, and Michigan is matched up with Notre Dame in the Las Vegas Bowl. Alright, so let's take a look here real quick. So let's look at recruiting rankings. Looks like Georgia has the #1 class. Notre Dame, Oregon, LSU, and Miami round out the top 5. It's interesting. Let's look here. So we'll look at the college football playoffs. So by the ratings and SimLogic of the game, the teams that got the first round byes should have been Alabama Crimson Tide, Ohio State Buckeyes, Colorado Buffaloes, and the Clemson Tigers. So your Big 10, SEC, Big 12, ACC champions. Then we've got number 5, Ole Miss taking on at home Western Kentucky at number 12. We've got number 6, Oregon Ducks taking on at home game versus the number 11 Georgia Bulldogs. We've got number 7, Kansas State Wildcats hosting a game with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Why are the Scarlet Knights? They seem so good in simulation all the time on this game. I wonder why. Like that's such a weird thing. Like Rutgers, as bad as they are in real life, somehow they're constantly like just really good in simulation on this game. And then the final matchup is number 8 NC State hosting a game versus Miami Hurricanes. All right, let's look at the All-Americans compared to the preseason All-Americans that we just looked at. So the quarterback is not Dylan Gabriel. It was John Mateer from Washington State. The running backs are Ashton Jeanty from Boise State and Kyle Monangai from Rutgers. Wide receivers, we've got Troy Stellato, Isaiah Horton, and Jordan Hudson. I believe it was Travis Hunter, Emeka Ibuka, and I don't remember the other one. You can go back in the video and look. Tight end was Brant Kuth from Utah. Kelvin Banks is the first one I see that was on the preseason that's here. Looks like Donovan Jackson, Monheim, Ratledge. All 4 of those offensive linemen were preseason All-Americans and are All-Americans. Jonas Savinea. Defense, we got Jack Sawyer, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Walter Nolan, Harold Perkins, Jay Higgins, Barrett Carter, Will Johnson, Noel Williams, Caleb Downs, Malachi Stark. So a lot of them on the defensive side were correct. But here at the top with the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, they're all different. Second team, how did Jalen Milroe win the Heisman but get second team All-American behind John Mateer? That doesn't really make sense. Then we got Quinshon Judkins, Donovan Edwards, Ryan Williams, LeJontay Wester, Kyron Hudson, Jack Velling, Will Campbell, Dylan Fairchild, Jacob Gardner, Luke Kandra, Spencer Fenno, Ashton Gillott, James Pierce, Kenneth Grant, Tyleek Williams, David Bailey, Sean Dolak, Matt Slelpick, Siobhan Revel, Dorian Strong, Xavier Watts, Malachi Moore, Maddox Trujillo, and Tommy Doman. Freshmen, quick look at those. Of course, Ryan Williams made it. Jeremiah Smith made it. Let's see. Alright. Now let's look. Let's see. Let's look at the bowl matchups. So this according to the ratings and SimLogic, in full simulation of EA Sports College Football 25, Indiana is matched up against Colorado State Rams in the LA Bowl. Marshall Thundering Herd is matched up against the Tulane Green Wave in the Frisco Bowl. Pitt Panthers versus UTSA Roadrunners in the Fenway Bowl. Texas State Bobcats and Western Michigan Broncos in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Bahamas Bowl, South Alabama versus Sam Houston Bearcats. The Cure Bowl, we've got Miami, Ohio Redhawks versus James Madison Dukes. New Mexico Bowl, Jacksonville State versus Boise State. So Boise State did not make the college playoffs. They are instead facing Jacksonville State in the New Mexico Bowl. Notre Dame Fighting Irish did not make the playoffs. They are playing against Michigan in the Las Vegas Bowl. 68 Ventures Bowl, Northern Illinois versus Troy. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Louisiana Raging Cajuns versus UNLV Rebels. Boca Raton Bowl, Boston College versus North Texas. Detroit Bowl, Michigan State versus Toledo. New Orleans Bowl, Middle Tennessee State versus Arkansas State. The Hawaii Bowl, Hawaii versus Georgia State. Gasparilla Bowl, Kansas versus Virginia Tech. Penn State did not make the playoffs. They are instead playing against the BYU Cougars at the Independence Bowl. Coastal Carolina, Fresno State for the Armed Forces Bowl. Texas Bowl is Texas A&M versus Utah. Military Bowl is the Navy Midshipmen versus Louisville Cardinals. First Responder Bowl, Army Black Knights versus Yukon Huskies. Liberty Bowl, Memphis Tigers versus Cincinnati Bearcats. Birmingham Bowl, UMass Minutemen, Syracuse Orange. Holiday Bowl, Georgia Tech versus Nebraska Cornhuskers. Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Texas Tech versus San Jose State. Camellia Bowl, Buffalo Bulls versus Washington State. Heisman winning quarterback, Washington State in the Camellia Bowl. Pop-Tarts Bowl, Arizona versus SMU. Alamo Bowl, USC Baylor. So SMU did not make the playoffs. They are instead playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Duke's Mayo Bowl, Cal versus West Virginia. Sun Bowl, FIU, Central Michigan. Music City Bowl, South Carolina, Iowa. Arizona Bowl, Charlotte FAU. ReliaQuest Bowl, Washington versus Missouri. Citrus Bowl, UCLA, LSU. And the Gator Bowl, Texas, who are not in the playoffs, playing in the Gator Bowl against Liberty. For the awards, now we know the Heisman winner is Jalen Milroe. Player of the year was Jalen Milroe, with runner-up Will Howard. Head coach of the year went to Marcus Webb, the stand-in for Deion Sanders. Runner-up Scott Green, the stand-in for Kalen DeBoer. Best quarterback went to Jalen Milroe. Runner-up Will Howard. Let's see, what's the top 10 on this? John Mateer, Jackson Dart, Riley Leonard, Cade Klubnik, Dylan Gabriel, Caden Salter, Avery Johnson, Chandler Morris, Lenore Sellers, Shadur Sanders. Interesting. Best defensive player went to Josh Pius from Wisconsin. Runner-up Hunter Osborne, defensive end from Alabama. Best defensive back went to Malachi Moore from Alabama. Wow. Alabama's defensive backs, whoa. All top five voting for best defensive back. What is going on in Alabama? Whatever playbook they're running, I need to be running. Best running back went to Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State. Runner-up Kyle Monangai from Rutgers. Best receiver went to Clemson's Troy Stellato. Runner-up by Shamir Dyke in Florida. Lombardi Award to the defensive lineman of the year went to Hunter Osborne. Runner-up Jack Sawyer. Golden Arm Award went to Will Howard of Ohio State. Runner-up Jackson Dart. That goes to the senior quarterback of the year. Gotcha. Best defensive end, Hunter Osborne. Runner-up Jack Sawyer. Best interior lineman, Tate Ratledge from Georgia. Runner-up Donovan Jackson, Ohio State. Best tight end, Brent Keith from Utah. Runner-up Jack Velling, Michigan State. Royals Award for the coordinator of the year went to the OC at Colorado, Ryan Winston. Runner-up Michael Henry at Colorado. Best linebacker, John Pius of Wisconsin. Runner-up Deontay Lawson at Alabama. Best center, Jonah Monheim, USC. Runner-up Cooper Mays at Tennessee. Lou Groza Award for best kicker, Noah Burnett of North Carolina. Runner-up Jonah Dalmas of Boise State. Best punter, Mitchell Tomasek, Eastern Michigan. Runner-up Brett Thorson of Georgia. Best kick returner, Josh Aka of Ole Miss. Terry Bussey is the runner-up from Texas A&M. All right, let's take a look here. So the Heisman finalists were, besides the winner Jalen Milroe, were Jackson Dart, John Mateer, Will Howard, and Riley Leonard. So 5 quarterbacks, of course. Alright, let's look at the conference standings. And I've got the real life conference standings here pulled up on my phone. So let's take a look at how these differ. So first we will look at the ACC. Now let's see. In the game, Clemson and Miami were both tied at 11-2 with 7-1 in their conference. Looks like Clemson won the tiebreakers. It's interesting. Wonder what the tiebreakers were to put Clemson higher. But so Clemson in real life went. Let's see. ACC. Clemson went 10-4. They went 11-2 in the game. Miami in real life went 10-2. They're 11-2 here. So they hold on. How are Clemson and Miami both 11-2? Wouldn't one of them had to have won? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. They must have both just played, and they must have played each other in the championship. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay. Then we got NC State went 10-2 in the game. In real life, they went 6-6. So NC State's ratings vastly outperformed real life. SMU went 9-3 in the game. They went 11-3 in real life. So SMU's ratings should probably be tweaked a little higher. Boston College went 8-4. They went 7-5 in real life. Virginia Tech went 7-5 in the game, and in real life they went 6-6. Florida State went 5-7, and in real life they were 2-10. So it looks like they did drop a lot of their ratings, but they didn't drop them far enough. Louisville is 6-6 in the game. In real life they went 8-4. Syracuse is 8-4 in the game. In real life, they went 9-3. Georgia Tech in the game went 6-6. In real life, they went 7-5. Pittsburgh Panthers went 7-5 in the game and went 7-5 in real life. So that's the first one that's been right on the money. Cal Golden Bears went 6-6 in the game, and in real life, where are they there? They went 6-7 in real life. How did they go 6-7? Oh, they must have already played their. Never mind, they played their bowl game. Okay. Um, North Carolina in the game went 5-7. They went 3-5, or excuse me, 6-6 in real life. Stanford went 5-7 in the game. They went 3-9 in real life. Wake Forest went 4-8 in the game and 4-8 in real life. Duke Blue Devils went 4-8 in the game, but they went 9-3 in real life. So in the game, they vastly underperformed compared to their real life counterpart. And the Virginia Cavaliers in the game went 5-7, and in real life they went 5-7. For the American League, we've got North Texas atop the conference at 10-3. In real life, North Texas went 6-6, so they vastly outperformed their real life counterpart. Tulane went 9-4 in the game. They went 9-5 in real life, 9-4 in the regular season, so that's fair. That one's going to be right on point. Navy went 8-4. In real life, they went 9-3. Army went 7-5. In real life, they went 11-2. So Army needs a little bit of a buff, it looks like. Memphis in the game went 9-3. In real life, they went 11-2. UTSA went 8-4 in the game. In real life, 6-6. FAU went 6-6 in the game. And in real life, they went 3-9. Charlotte went 7-5 in the game, and in real life went 5-7. USF went 5-7, and in real life USF actually went 6-6. Temple went 6-6 in the game, and in real life they went 3-9. East Carolina, one of my favorite secondary teams, went 7-5 in the game, and in real life they also went 7-5. Wow, I've got a friend that's a diehard ECU fan, and the way he's talked about the team, I expected them to actually have done way worse than 7-5 in real life. Rice Owls went 5-7 in the game, and in real life went 4-8. UAB went 5-7. They went 3-9 in real life, and Tulsa the same thing, 5-7 in the game, and 3-9 in real life. All right, for the Big 12, we've got Colorado went undefeated in the game. So obviously they're massively overvaluating Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. They went 13-0 in the game. In real life, they went 9-3. Kansas State went 11-2 in the game, and in real life went 8-4. Baylor in the game went 9-3, and in real life went 8-4. Arizona in the game 8-4, and in real life 4-8. So they're vastly outperforming their real life counterpart. Utah 8-4 in the game, and 5-7 in real life. Cincinnati 7-5 in the game, and 5-7 in real life. Texas Tech is 7-5 in the game, 8-4 in real life. BYU 7-5, and they went 10-2 in real life. So BYU real life outperformed their game counterpart. Kansas 7-5 in real life. Kansas was actually 5-7. West Virginia went 6-6 in the game and were 6-6 in real life. Arizona State went 5-7. In real life, they went 11-2. So they need their ratings bumped up because they, in real life, massively outperformed what they do in the game. UCF Knights in the game were 5-7. In real life, were 4-8. Iowa State in the game was 4-8. In real life, they went 10-3. So again, just like Arizona State, Iowa State needs their ratings bumped up. TCU in the game went 3-9, and in real life they went 8-4. Houston in 2-10 in the game, and in real life went 4-8. Oklahoma State 3-9 in the game, and in real life went 3-9. In the Big Ten. All right, so in the game, Ohio State went 12-1. In real life, Ohio State went 11-2. Penn State went 9-4. So they must have lost to Ohio State in the playoff or in the conference championship. In real life, they went 12-2. Or excuse me, they went 12-1 in real life. Oregon Ducks went 10-2 in the game. In the real life, they're 13-0. Rutgers in the game went 10-2. In real life, 7-5. See what I mean? They massively outperformed their real life counterpart every single time in simulation of this game. And it's weird because the simulation in this game can sometimes be random, but it's never random when it comes to Rutgers. Nebraska went 8-4 in the game. In real life, they went 6-6. Iowa 8-4 in the game. In real life, 8-4. Indiana 8-4 in the game. In real life, 11-2 or 11-1 regular season. Maryland 5-7 in the game, and in real life they went 4-8. Michigan State 7-5 in the game, 5-7 in real life. USC 7-5 in the game, 6-6 in real life. Michigan 7-5 in the game, and they also went 7-5 in real life. Washington went 6-6 in the game. In real life, they also went 6-6. UCLA went 5-7 in real life, 6-6 in the game. Illinois went 5-7 in the game and went 9-3 in real life. So in real life, they outperformed the game version. Wisconsin Badgers went 4-8 in the game. They went 5-7 in real life. Northwestern 4-8 in the game, 4-8 in real life. Minnesota went 2-10 in the game, and in real life, Minnesota was not that bad. They went 7-5. So again, massively outperformed their game counterpart in real life. Purdue went 4-8, and they were 1-11 in real life. So, all right, let's see, Conference USA. All right. Conference USA, Sam Houston won the conference at 9-4. In real life, they went 10-3. Western Kentucky went 10-3. In real life, they went 8-6. Jacksonville State in the game went 6-6. In real life, they went 9-5. MTSU in the game 7-5. In real life, they were 3-9. Liberty went 6-6 in the game, and in real life they were 8-3. FIU 6-6 in the game. Real life they were 4-8. New Mexico State 5-7 in the game. Real life they went 3-9. Louisiana Tech went 3-9 in the game and 5-7 in real life. So you could swap these two. UTEP in the game 3-9. In real life, they were 3-9 as well. Kennesaw State, first year in FBS. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Apologies, guys. I had a phone call from my doctor's office. All right. Kennesaw State, first year in the FBS, went 2-10 in the game. In real life, they went 2-10, so that's actually pretty accurate. All right, now looking at the independents real quick. Notre Dame in the game went 9-3. In real life, they went 12-1. UConn in the game went 8-4. In real life, they also went 8-4. UMass, however, in the game went 8-4. In real life, they went 2-10. Something's not right there. All right, now with the MAC, we got Miami of Ohio. They were 8-5, as well as NIU was 8-5. In real life, Miami of Ohio was 8-5, and NIU was 7-5. Western Michigan was 7-5 in the game, and in real life, Western Michigan was 6-7. Buffalo went 6-6 in the game, and went 8-4 in real life. Toledo 7-5 in the game, 7-5 in real life. Bowling Green 5-7. In real life, they were 7-5. Eastern Michigan went 5-7 in both game and real life. Central Michigan went 6-6 in the game, only 4-8 in real life. Ohio Bobcats 4-8 in the game, 11-3 in real life. So Ohio Bobcats in real life greatly outperformed EA's expectation of them. The Akron Zips in the game went 4-8. In real life, they actually went 4-8. Kent State went 4-8 in the game, and in real life, they went 0-12. Ball State went 2-10 in the game, and in real life went 3-9. All right, Mountain West, we got Boise State atop the conference at 10-3 in the game, and in real life they went 12-1. Colorado State in the game was 6-7. In real life they were 8-4. UNLV was 8-4 in the game. In real life they were 11-3. Fresno State 9-3 in the game. In real life they were 6-6. Hawaii was 7-5 in the game. In real life they were 5-7. New Mexico Lobos were 5-7 in the game. In real life they were also 5-7. San Jose State went 6-6 in the game. In real life they went 7-5. Nevada 4-8 in the game. In real life they went 3-10. San Diego State went 3-9 in the game. In real life 3-9, so that one's pretty accurate. Air Force in the game went 5-7. In real life went 5-7, so that's accurate as well. Wyoming 4-8 in the game, 3-9 in real life. And Utah State 3-9 in the game, 4-8 in real life. Pac-2, Washington State went 10-2 in the game. In real life they went 8-4. Oregon State was 5-7, and in real life they were 5-7. So John Mateer won the Heisman on an 81 overall team, or excuse me, not the Heisman, but the the first team All-American over Heisman winning Jalen Milroe off of a 10-2 Washington State team. In the SEC, all right, so in game we've got Alabama at 12-1. In real life they went 9-3. Ole Miss in the game went 11-2. In real life they went 9-3. LSU in the game went 8-4. LSU in the game went in real life went 8-4 as well. South Carolina 9-3 in the game, 9-3 in real life. Texas 8-4 in the game, and they were 12-2 in real life. So the game did not give them enough credit. Georgia went 9-3 in the game. They went 11-2 in real life. Missouri went 8-4 in the game, 9-3 in real life. Texas A&M 8-4 in the game, 8-4 in real life. Oklahoma went 5-7 in the game, went 6-6 in real life. Auburn went 7-5 in the game, and went 5-7 in real life. So you just flop those two numbers. Tennessee went 6-6 in the game. In real life, they went 10-3. So Tennessee massively underperformed in the game. Let's see. Arkansas went 5-7 in the game. Went 6-6 in real life. Florida went 5-7 in the game, and in real life went 8-5. Kentucky went 6-6 in the game, and went 4-8 in real life. Mississippi 4-8 in the game. Mississippi State, excuse me, 2-10 in real life. Vanderbilt 3-9 in the game, and they actually went 6-6 in real life. And then last but not least, we got the Sun Belt. Sun Belt, South Alabama went 8-5 in the game, and in real life went 7-6. Troy went 6-6 in the game, went 4-8 in real life. Arkansas State went 7-5 in the game, went 7-5 in real life. Texas State went 7-5 in both the game and real life. James Madison went 9-4 in the game. In real life, they also went 9-4. Louisiana went 9-3 in the game. They went 5-7 in real life. Marshall went 7-5 in the game, and went 10-3 in real life. 10-3 for wait a minute. They went 10-3 and then lost their entire team. What? Appalachian State went 5-7 in the game. Wait, why is it showing Appalachian State? Aren't they in the AAC? Oh no, they are in Sunbelt. Okay. Appalachian State went 5-6 in real life, 5-7 in the game. Did they not play 12 games this year? I don't understand why they only had 11 games. Huh. Coastal Carolina 6-6 in the game, and 6-6 in real life. Georgia State 6-6 in the game, 3-9 in real life. Old Dominion 4-8 in the game, 5-7 in real life. Georgia Southern 4-8 in the game, 8-5 in real life. So they flip-flopped those numbers in a big way. Southern Mississippi 5-7 in the game, 1-11 in real life, and ULM went 0-12 in the game, and in real life they went 5-7. I'm sorry. Earlier I quoted Louisiana Raging Cajuns record as 5-7. I looked at ULM's instead. They actually went 10-3. Alright, let's take a look. What else do we got here that we can look at? We can look at... Okay, so I want to look at Michigan's schedule specifically. So they're saying that we won Fresno State 42-19. That is better than we did in real life. Let me actually look up just to compare. I'm not going to do this with every team, but I am going to do this with Michigan, just because they're my favorite team. This is my video, so deal with it. Schedule. Okay. Alright, so week 1 in real life. Wait, this is... Hold on. Okay, so we won 30-10 in real life. In the game, we scored 12 more points, but gave up 9 more points. Alright, in the game, it says that we beat Texas 30-27. In real life, we lost 31-12. In the game, it says we beat Arkansas State at home 31-17, and we beat them 28-18. So that one was pretty close. In the game, it says we lost to USC at home 37-16. In real life, we beat them 27-24. In the game, we beat Minnesota at home 41-20. In real life, we beat them 27-24. Yes, we won 27-24 at home 2 weeks in a row in real life. In the game, it says that we beat Washington on the road 52-7. In real life, Washington beat us 27-17. Now this is the craziest part here. So in the game, it says that we went on a 3-game skid where we lost at Illinois on the road 38-34. In real life, we lost on the road 21-7. Then it says we lost at home to Michigan State 30-27. In real life, we won 24-17. It says in the game we we lost to number 6 Oregon 41-33 at home. In real life, we lost 38-17. Really, it should have been 31-17. Dan Lanning pulled a dick move and ran up the score at the end with time running out for no reason. Then we won at Indiana on the road 23-21. In real life, we lost to Indiana 20-15. Then in the game, it says we won 31-10 at home versus Northwestern. In real life, we won 50-6. And then in the game on the road, we lost to Ohio State 41-20. In real life, we won 13-10. So in the game, so we went 7-5 both in the game in real life. In real life, our 5 losses came from Indiana, Oregon, Illinois, Washington, and Texas. In the game, our losses came from Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan State, Illinois, and USC. So the only ones that were the same were were Illinois and Oregon. Every other one was flipped. Alright, let's see. Let's look at injury report. I'm just curious. So Davis Warren had a dislocated ankle at some point in the season and is still out for 4 weeks. I wish it told you the date of the injury. That would be cool. Let's see, season stats. And again, I'm just looking at Michigan here. I'm not going to go through all 134 teams, but I will here in a second. Simulate through the playoffs, and I may even create a coach for each of the playoff teams so we can watch the last quarter. I may not do that. I don't know. We may just simulate and see what happens. So let's see. So we can actually see how many games played. Okay, so Alex Orji has played in 5 games. So, let's assume for a second that the injury happened 5 games ago, right? So, that would account for most of our losses, I believe. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it didn't account for our USC or our Illinois loss. But it appears that in our home loss to Michigan State, which we won in real life, Davis Warren at some point in the game dislocated his ankle and was injured. Alex Orji came in at some point in the game, lost by 3. Then Alex Orji lost to Oregon, beat Indiana, Northwestern, and then lost to Ohio State. Alright, so Davis Warren was 2,100 yards, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 59 completion percentage. Alex Orji was 554 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 63%. Rushing, Donovan Edwards had 186 carries for 968 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Kellel Mullings had 86 carries, 560 yards, 8 touchdowns. Yeah. Receiving, we had Samaj Morgan get over 1,000 yards on 56 receptions with 8 touchdowns. Colston Loveland, 38 catches, 424 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tyler Morris, 33 receptions, 420 yards, 3 touchdowns. Interesting. Our offensive line gave up, our starting offensive line gave up 18, 19, 23, 26 sacks total. Miles Hinton, who's actually our best offensive lineman, somehow gave up 12 sacks. On defense, our leading tackler was Jayshawn Barham. Josiah Stewart with 10 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks. Mason Graham 7.5 sacks. Brandon Hillman had 5 interceptions. Jayshawn Barham had 2. Jair Hill had 2. Will Johnson and Hausman had 1. Will Johnson had 7 deflections. Jair Hill had 5. Had a bunch of forced fumbles. 1 safety by Josiah Stewart. No defensive touchdowns. Darth Zavada went 19 of 24 from field goal, 79% with a long of 50, had 1 blocked, and went perfect for extra points. Alright, well, we've done that, so now let's simulate to the national championship. We'll look back at the bowl games and see who won. Then we'll simulate the national championship, and we will see who wins the championship. Then we'll end the stream. So let's see. College football bracket. Okay, so in the first round matchups, Ole Miss hosting Western Kentucky won 30-10. NC State lost at home to the Miami Hurricanes 33-10. The Oregon Ducks beat the Georgia Bulldogs at home 45-24. And Kansas State hosting Rutgers won 49-21. So we had one upset, number 9 over number 8 at home. The rest of them were chalk. So then the quarterfinal round, we got number 4 Clemson Tigers matched up with number 5 Ole Miss. Clemson won 26-24. We had number 1 Alabama taking on the number 9 Miami Hurricanes. Alabama won 21-17. We had the number 6 Oregon Ducks going in against the number 3 seeded Colorado Buffaloes, and Oregon Ducks won 35-14. And the Kansas State Wildcats, number 7 seeded, went in against the number 2 seeded Ohio State Buckeyes and won 27-19. The semifinals saw number 1 Alabama defeat number 4 Clemson 45-21, and number 6 Oregon defeated number 7 Kansas State badly 38-3. And so we've got a national championship game of the Oregon Ducks versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alright, let's look at the other bowl matchups. Let's see who won their bowl matchups. So it looks like, let's see. Is it not going to show the winners? Apparently it doesn't show the winners, so we can't see it. Okay, well, that's weird that it doesn't show that, but that's okay. So let's advance and see who wins in the Oregon-Alabama National Championship. And the Oregon Ducks defeated the Alabama Crimson Tide 31-17 to win the national championship. So, my opinion, based on what I've seen here, based on what I've seen here, I believe that the sim logic in this game is just a little bit too random. It was very random when the game first came out. They came in and tweaked it, but it's still too upset heavy, I think. It's too random. This is the same problem that they've had in Madden for years with their sim logic. They really need to fix it. It should take into account ratings. It should take into account matchups. It should take into account fatigue. It should take into account play styles, playbooks, and it should take into account the scheme. It does not. It doesn't take into account any of that. I think literally it's just random number crunching with with playbooks. Like that's all that really goes into the sim logic, and I really think it needs to be fixed. Hopefully they'll address it with College Football 26. But again, guys, stay tuned because I will be doing another video, most likely later today. If not today, it'll be tomorrow. Uh, where I'm going to input the wins and losses for every 130, all 134 teams, and then simulate to the season with those wins and losses, so we can see how the game does with the playoff projections, the bowl seeding, or sorry, bowl selections and playoff seeding. See how they do that when it's just based on data and not based on the human error element. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Go Blue.